Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the Zero to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so for today we will be doing our mailbox clean out, but before that we would like to go over the fundraising goals for the day. We are up to around about £146.42 for the RSPCA fundraiser. Could not be happier with the way things are turning out. Now, if you obviously haven't donated towards the fundraiser and you want to, link is in the description down below. Even just £1 will help and go quite a long way for the RSPCA. Now, aside from that, let's get on to the gold for the day. Now, for obvious reasons, I have been doing a load of farming today as I had pretty much a short shift today, which kind of actually came in a bit of a blessing in disguise, so I could get some decent farms in pretty damn early to kick off the actual day with quite a good one and try and see if we can make any more decent raw gold. I just kicked my camera. But other than that, let's see how much gold we made for the day before we get into all of the little flips and jazzes for the day. So, the gold we have made throughout last night is 20,342 gold, so that's nearly doubling what we actually made yesterday, so I'm quite happy with that. We sold all of the deep sea bags for 361 gold, and we sold 2 Crash and Thrushin cannon controllers for 3,368 gold. You will know that I will be doing that daily run this afternoon after this video for obvious reasons, because the Crush and Thrushes at least are selling, and if they sold in literally like less than 12 hours, I'm pretty damn happy. Now, aside from that, we did sell some of the volatiles, so the volatile life, volatile air, and the volatile fire. And the only ones that were really of note were the volatile fire, a stack of 41 for 1,369 gold. Volatiles on my realm don't really sell for all that much of a decent amount of gold, so it's kind of one of those ones where if it's up in price, bung it on the auction house to do the farm. If not, then you'll be lucky to get a few thousand gold. Volatile life, however, does sell for a decent amount of gold, but we only sold a stack of 16 for 541 gold, so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from there. But 20,000 gold for the day is pretty damn good, considering we started from 0 and we've managed to pull in a decent amount of gold. So we are currently going to be sat at a nice sizable amount of gold to play around with, and along with that, that has brought our total up to 27,473 gold, so pretty damn happy with the way things are turning out. Now, that being the case, I would like to get on to the actual farms for the day, so let's move over to our miner. Now, for the actual day, we have been farming 2 hours worth of farms for mining, and I thought, well, if we need some quick gold, pretty damn sharpish, we've got to go with some gathering professions in order to get our first 100k, so we can start investing in mounts and crafted materials and all that jazz, because you need a decent amount of starting capital in order to do that. We're at 27,000 gold, because besides that we have done the Wintergrass farm. The route is on the map right now, and this is where you go over to Winter Spring and you farm for an hour, of course. Now, one thing to note, that when a battle is in progress, you turn into your flight form or on your mount. You will get dismounted when you go to different specific areas in the map on the route. Now, if you're a druid, you can circumvent this. Other than that, you're most likely going to get dismounted and you will have to carry on with just a ground mount. But with a druid, you can have a nice little trick. Before it dismounts you, just dismount and then remount, and it should get rid of the debuff and you can keep flying. After a little while, it becomes second nature, so you can be flying around like this and then just dismount, remount, and keep flying around the zone, mining and all of that jazz. But aside from that, we gathered up a sizable amount of different types of materials for the titanium ore farm, for Wintergrasp, and we've also done the Silithus farm. Now, obviously, Corthana was my main character for the Gold Cap Challenge last year, so she still had her tailoring and her jewel crafting, so I had to get my mining up some way in order to make sure I have decent amounts of materials, because obviously when it comes to like classic farms for ore, it's going to only give you like 1 or nuggets or whatever. It's not going to be decent ore until you've got it maxed. So I went and did the Silithus farm because you can get hold of arcane crystals. Now, arcane crystals didn't start dropping for me until I hit skill level 200, but aside from that we managed to get a lot of thorium bars. Now, the different types of things that I wanted to do with is I wanted to do some alchemy flips, which we'll be doing in a minute. So what we're going to be doing is we'll be going to our send mail. So for our alchemist, we're going to send it over to Zathrash, as he's my favourite alchemist that I actually have. And we're going to send over the arcane crystals, thorium bars and saronite bars. Now obviously I've smelted this using my miner, and we'll send that over to him. Now the rest of the stuff will just go over to Giblet, my mage, so we can actually sell that all flat on the auction house. You're probably wondering why I didn't smelt the titanium ore. That is because the sell rate didn't actually match up, and because the sell rate wasn't as good as the ore, I figured, well, we've got to sell materials pretty damn fast, so it's worth your time to double check your sell rates in order to see what sells faster and for a decent amount of gold. Now aside from that, we're going to be picking up a few things. So we're going to gather all of the stuff that Corthana has just sent over, and we can just gather that into our inventory just to make sure everything's there. So when we do the overview, we can then see how much gold we are potentially going to make in the day. Now, the flip of note that I'm going to be doing is a daily practice, which you can do. So all we have to do is go in the auction house, and we're going to look up Trillium bars. And what we want to do is have at least 18 of these, because we'll need 18 of them on a daily basis. So what I plan on doing is by going for the cheapest ones, of course, and that is 10 already there, that's 12, and then 14, 16, and at this moment in time we've got stacks of bars. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to buy all the cheap ones, so then we can then save that for later on and send that over. So Trillium bars, you're probably thinking, okay, what are you going to do? I'm going to send this over to all 3 of my alchemists, so then they can actually turn this into living steel. Now, what I plan on doing is just keeping hold of this and sending it directly over to Zathrash, and then he will divvy out what is going on. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to log out, and we shall go over to our alchemist and start doing our daily crafts, in which we can make some gold. We have spent around about 4,000 gold on our Trillium bar stack, and hopefully we can make a decent amount of gold from that. Okay, so now we have our alchemist stone, and it only cost us around about 100 gold to make. From the Zen alchemist stone, it's like 3 golden lotus, so I just went on Giblet and bought some golden lotus, so now we can actually do our transmutes. Should have prepared that one. Oversight, so to speak. And the living steel is going for around about 2,000 gold each, so we're looking at around about 1,500 gold for our living steel. Aside from all of that, what we're going to do is do our daily craft for living steel, and what we're going to be doing is we've just done our daily craft for living steel, and we can go from there. Aside from all of that, we will then use our saronite bars, which we got a hold of, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be crafting 8 saronite bars into titanium bars, as they tend to, obviously saronite bars sell faster, but you can have a better return on your investment for your titanium bars if you're willing to wait a little bit. And it's not that wait a little bit as in stupid amounts, I mean it's pretty damn easy. Aside from that, you can always turn them into titan steel bars, and then what you can do then is just build upon that and then sell those on as crafted gear, or you can use those in the mechanized chopper. I preferably like to make the mechanized chopper, but this is just an easy way to turn saronite bars into titanium bars and make a little bit of a profit on top of that. Now, the next part in which I would like to do is use our arcane crystals and our thorium bars, and we're going to make arcanite bars. At this moment in time, the crafting cost is about 438 gold. We aren't paying that because we did the farm, and we can make them at a 200 gold profit. So if I really wanted to buy them off the auction house and do this flip, we can. Obviously, this one doesn't have a cooldown such like the serenite bar one for the titanium bar, and all I have to do is just add all of that in. So the arcanite bar and the titanium bar flips are non-cooldown, whereas the living steel one is a daily cooldown. That's why I use it on multiple characters. Sending over the serenite, thorium, titanium and all of that jazz, and make sure that we can send all of that back over to Giblet. And what we're going to do is keep hold of the trillion bars on this alchemist right here, because he's my most well-known one. And then hopefully we can then build upon that and build upon that going forward. What we'll be doing now is we'll just be retrieving all of our stuff that we got from Zathrash, which is our alchemist. So now we've got all of our stuff, we're going to then post this all to the auction house, and hopefully we can actually get a load of gold for all that stuff. What I plan on doing for the rest of the day is making sure that we can then jump over to doing our dailies of doing the Nagrand and Tanan Jungle rares one, and what we'll be doing moving forward will be most likely going into a couple of more gathering professions to see if we can make any additional gold. But aside from that, it should be okay. And we can have a look, and at this moment in time, we have around about 53,000 gold's worth of stuff on the auction house. Hopefully we can get some decent sales. I'm probably going to do a reinvestment of around about 10,000 gold into the tie spray linen one, and hopefully we can then make some decent gold. For some reason the sun crystal didn't post to the auction house, but I'm really not overly that fussed to it. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much all I have to say for the day. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Have an awesome day, guys, and I shall see you soon.